Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead Hideaway. Is that what we're called? It's been a while since we did a video, so. Anywhere you go, give it all. Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead Hideaway. I know it's been a while, but today I'm going to walk you through my garden. Now, we took the old garden from last year and times that by 10, maybe more. And you're gonna see why. Well, I think you all know why we did that if you've stayed up with the current events going on. However, come with me and I'll show you step by step what we've been doing. I know the last video that we produced was us putting the T-post in. We are well beyond that. So, as you can see, we got the fencing up. We have my lovely door here. I just love. Rob actually made it for me and it came out wonderful. Now if you can check this out over here. So as you can see, we got the water catchment system here. That is fed, well, not currently fed, but it's going to be. We're actually waiting on parts to come in, but ultimately we want it to go from our water catchment. That if you haven't seen that, I'm going to link the video below so you can check that out. And that was a water catchment system that we actually put up on our barn and to catch all the rainwater, and it's going into I think a 250 gallon tote, and we catch that water there, and we're going to run a pipe that comes over to this barrel here, and then we can run it into the garden. So we did run a drip line. Currently it's hooked up to the hose, the drip line, because we haven't gotten the parts to cycle that to that. So right now we're just kind of filling that up with the rainwater, and I do it by hand. But let's get in there and see what else we have going on. Good morning. Now this is still a work in progress. I have a lot of plants in, but I don't have them all in. So there are still plants inside the house that have to be put in here. Pretty much just the beds. I have a lot of the stuff already in the pots, and yes, there's still some pots that are empty that need, like I said, there's plants inside that need to come out. But yeah, so we're doing the protein buckets for the cattle protein buckets. We're utilizing those to put the plants in this year. So that way I'm hoping that it will stop some of the bug issues that I was having last year. But I feel like, well, if you know Missouri, but if you don't, and we have clay. So it's so hard to work with the dirt here. It's not dirt, it's clay. So it's like chipping into a stone. So it was so much easier just utilizing the tubs and things like that, so that way we're not stuck trying to get into this clay that probably isn't going to be any good for our plants anyway. So I want a good yield this year, just because the pricing is just through the roof already, and I can't even imagine how bad it's going to get. So I would just rather shop in my own garden than have to go to the store. I do recommend you doing the same thing. Alright, so as you can see, we have the drip lines. We have a main line that goes all around the garden, and then off of that main line we have these little chutes with this smaller line. So then they have these little bubblers, they call them, and they do different things. Some go in a fan and spray, some go from 3 feet to 6 feet. I mean, you just gotta look to see what type of bubbler you need for your purpose. So we got these lines, which are going to be a lifesaver for me, because I'm not gonna have to come out here and water each individual plant, which is great. This is my purple broccoli. I can't wait, but all of these have my purple broccoli in it, so hopefully I'll have a good yield this year. I've definitely upped my game. That garden I was talking about from last year, this is it. This right here. So there's no way I would have been able to get away with the production that I'm looking to get out of this thing right here. So I didn't want to waste the dirt that was in here because it was really good dirt. It was really dark and rich. From last year I had a lot of compost in there. So I just figured put the garden within my garden. It looks like I got a radish starting right here already. So as you can see, we have the main trunk, we call it the trunk line, which is your bigger line that runs around the garden. And I have a trunk line that is coming down this way, so that way I have the little ones basically shooting down each row to be able to water all of my plants. These are the sugar snap peas, and obviously they need something to climb up on, so we put a little trellis there for them to climb on. And then the coolest part is the trellis we made out of the cow panels. So let me take you over that way, because that is the coolest part about this garden, if you ask me. So these are the cow panels. I believe they're 16 feet long by 4 feet wide, if I'm accurate. I think that's what the dimensions were. So basically we just put in the T-post, put one side up, and let it spring into action into a hoop. And if you come over this way, you'll see the hoop. So what I do is, what I have is all of my pots lined up. Obviously these are things that climb that are in here. So that is what's going to happen. None of the plants are big enough to climb yet. We're just at the beginning stages here, but this should become a whole trellis of basically leaves. And then if I find that any plants are struggling because they need more shade over light, they may end up coming in here underneath. So that's an option. And that's kind of why I went with the pots this year, because if they're struggling in the area that they're in, I can move them and put them somewhere that they're not going to struggle so much. So it gives me better options than just a garden in the ground. So this is the ground covering. I'm hoping that it stops a lot of these bugs from even trying to come in here. Obviously I do see that this tree is shedding, so I'm going to have to sweep in here, obviously, because this has got to go. That is from the rainstorm that we got last night. It was pretty heavy, so that's what dropped from these trees. As they bloom, I won't have this issue anymore. But my potatoes are doing good. I have a pool. So this is where it comes in, utilizing things that are cheap. So these big tubs that we got, we were paying, I think, about $3 to $5 a piece. Or my neighbor who has cattle, you know, he would give us what he could. And so I found this pool for like $8. And I figured it was a pretty big pool, why not use it? It's doing great for my potatoes, so we got a potato pool this year in the garden. But you got to utilize the things around you to make it cheaper on your wallet. We need things these days. You don't want to go to the store and pay these prices, so utilize the things around your property if you can. I mean, the bed's over there. I found that wood in my she shed when I was going through it, because we all know, if you've seen that video, that place was a mess. So I was able to find some stuff that I could utilize in the garden in there, and I did so. So look around your property, see if there's stuff that you can turn into a pot or anything like that, and make yourself a little garden at home. I definitely recommend it. The prices at the stores are just getting ridiculous. If you want to stay ahead of the game, you need to prepare. And this is our way of preparing this year. Obviously, we took it tenfold because we're not that confident in the stores these days. So we just want to make sure that we are self-sufficient around here. And that is our intention of this hideaway anyway, is to become self-sustained. And this is just a great part of it. Alright guys, so make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us out, and we'll catch you on the next video. We have a lot more coming. we got to wrap this up because the rain is about to come down on us. So we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Thanks again. Bye now.